Greetings, queens and kings, if you stopping by. Welcome back to my channel. How are we doing, fam? Thank you for coming back. If you're new, welcome. Stop by, lay down, get a sip of wine or whatever it is that you drink, some iced tea, kick back, relax, and join the family. Thank you for coming to my channel, and I hope you would like, share, subscribe, and definitely give comments on inputs on some of our favorite shows like this one right here, Sistas. Now let's hop into it. Family, Gary Marshall Borders is a wacko. Now we see our boy Jordan. Jordan, you gotta be 10 steps ahead of Gary. He is too slick for you, bruh. You let him catch you in your car. Come on, y'all. Let's get into it. Now, where we left off last week, our boy was out here trying to be slick, going to the cops, letting them know, that he think that Andrea Barnes is behind the missing, persons who is his fiance, and he is so, woe is me, I'm so afraid, don't anybody care about what's going on with her. I'm like, you couldn't be more fake, Gary, and I hope this cop saw right through him. So in the meantime, he a little upset because Jordan and Andie got there while he was trying to do his little mess. But the cop said, listen, we'll handle it. You can go. So he, of course, thinks he's in the clear. But this federal agent, who evidently Gary didn't recognize, who was working on his prior case, wanted to talk to Miss Andrea Barnes. So in the meantime, Jordan's all upset, and Andie's trying to tell him, go back, babe, calm down. Don't freak out. I got you. It's going to be okay. And really, they shouldn't be together because, he's a politician. He's running for senator or whatever. So he doesn't want any more scandal. She doesn't want any more scandal to come down on him with this mess with his sister and dealing with Gary. So the Fed guy took her inside to question her. And, of course, she doesn't want to get involved. She doesn't want to talk. But he like, you don't recognize me? I'm the guy who was on the case. Basically, now he working for some special agent, I guess, task force now with the FBI, and he's still working on this case to bring Gary down. And then she realizes, because at first she didn't realize who he was, and then she recognized him. She wanted to make like, oh, I don't have anything to do with this. I don't want any parts. I'm here to find out what happened to Penelope. But then she recognizes who he is. And bingo, yeah, it hit her. No, for somebody who's up for part in a law firm, sometimes Andie, she's a little scatterbrained. She's not as sharp. And that's why you see, luckily Fatima came into her life because she needs somebody more street and hood and sharp and into law like Fatima to help her because old girls sometimes don't have it. So she's going on and on, about, oh, okay, but I don't have anything to do with his dealings. He was like, don't play stupid. I know all about you. I know that he got you this penthouse, the car, everything. Come on, this is the FBI. They know what you've been doing. So now she feel like her hands is tied and she has to help her. So in the meantime, Gary is leaving. He meets his partner out in the garage. And little does he know, now Jordan is spying on him. He didn't leave like Andie told him. He out there, I guess, on stakeout to see what's going on with Gary. Gary, of course, has gotten away with so much garbage. Killed a girl in college that was his girlfriend. Body missing, parents and nobody. He got away scot-free with that crime. Now with Penelope. So, of course, he thinks he's invincible. He thinks that he's untouchable. So he tells his partner, and then, it's pretty much clear. But they both know something has to be done with Andie if this gets to be a problem, because now she's at the police station too. And if she's talking to the cops or the feds, they're going to have to handle her. But I'm thinking, do you guys ever think that, I don't know how long him and this guy has been friends, but as deep in hot water as they are, has this guy been questioned by the feds? This white guy? I don't know. But when it all boils down to it, in the back of my mind, something telling me this guy, who Andie thinks is his friend, may be working with the feds as well to save his neck, being that he's so much in cahoots with Gary. What do you think? Put in the comments. Do you think you trust this guy here? Now, in the meantime, we have Zach at the house with Fatima. You know, he looking at the good breakfast she made, and she's smacking his hand like, "Don't touch my food. I don't play when it comes to my food." I'm like, "That's right, sis. That's one thing we don't play: our money, our men, our children, and our food, right?" So Gary's like, "Okay, okay, I'm gonna lay off." But then he telling her how he met and talked with Karen. He wants to get little a trust for little Michael and his daughter. Yeah, okay. You hoping it's a girl. Zach, you don't know yet, so chill. And she's like, "What? Like, take it down. Like, first of all, these are twins." She's trying to tell him how you really can't separate it. And he like, only one of these babies is mine. And I feel you, but this is a crazy situation. Like in Fatima's research, only a quarter, 25% of 1%, a quarter of 1% chance. And of course, Karen of all people is the one that fell into this category of this medical situation that's very rare when it comes to being pregnant by two different men when you have sex with them in a quick time period. And I had already heard about it, like I mentioned to you before, years ago. It rarely happens. This happened to a friend of mine, just why I knew it was true. But she was married. It was her husband. Unfortunately, she lost the twins, but the doctor had told her that both of her twins weren't conceived on the same date. They were like a week or two apart. So yeah, it can happen. But unfortunately, she lost them. So my friend had that condition. So Fatima was talking to him about how he has to learn to co-parent when it comes to the twins, and he has to him and Aaron got to get together and deal with this. And so he was like, okay, he'll just gonna talk to Karen about it. But she thinking, basically you're gonna have to handle this the best way. It's a rare situation, but it's really hard to divide babies. I get what Zach is saying. And put in the comments how you feel about this. I'm only taking care of my baby, but when they're twins, you don't want one to feel different than the other. So he's gonna have to work that out. So he calls up Karen at the salon, let her know about what he wants to do with the trust. And she's like, okay, I'll take care of my half of the baby. She was like, there's no divide in my belly. And I get it. There's no divide in my children. They are a pair. They are a package deal. So with him and Aaron, they're going to have to find a way to do this with the twins together. And it's unusual. It's hard, but they're going to have to find a way to deal with it. And Karen can't say, oh, I'm out of it. That kind of approach, because you carrying these babies, girl. So you're going to have to deal with this with these men. So Fatima's talking to Andie about this crazy thing she's been dealing with. And of course she wants to tell her girl about Karen and, the DNA. And she says, what? Because Karen, she's so bougie and thinks she got it together and just knew that Zach was just the father of the twins. So now she want to keep it a big secret after running off at the mouth the whole entire pregnancy. So now she feels she want to keep quiet. So Andie doesn't know about it. And she's basically saying, yeah, he's father of one of the babies, but let your girl talk to you about it. But then she's telling her about the FBI situation and Gary. And Fatima's like, yo, this guy, we got to do something about him. But watch your mouth, watch what you say to these feds, because they will set you up, get all this information, and yeah, she will end up going down with Gary. Girl, don't you know how this work with the feds? And of course, Andie is like, duh, oh yeah, I guess, you may be right. She was like, hell yeah, I'm right. Like, this is what they do, girl. And I'm like, Andie, yes, you say whatever that they want to hear. At the end of the day, you will go down because you were very much close to Gary and all his dealings, and you accepted these gifts. So you're gonna have a lot to prove. So I don't know how she's gonna handle that. Now here we go with Karen back at the bank with Maurice, and she really is doing too much. It was really infuriating me, this situation, because she was very insulting, and she doing this in front of customers. And I know the sister right here. She played in a lot of movies. This older lady, great actress. And so it was good seeing her on this episode. But you could tell she's real cool with Maurice. And she said, I heard they had you in jail, baby. Like, I missed you and where you been. And of course, Miss Karen jumping in, talking about, yeah, he was in jail. I'm like, first of all, that's very rude to go through this banter in front of customers. So you're talking about Maurice, but she was acting just as ratchet by starting this and running off at the mouth about his personal business. So that wasn't cool at all. But luckily, she has a good rapport with Maurice, so she laughed it off and wasn't offended by it because she was like, "I know you would put a chick in her place, or anybody for that matter." So welcome back, Maurice. She was like, "Thank you, baby." So that was just like his grandma coming to the bank. So I'm glad it wasn't somebody that really could maybe not have wanted their service at this bank because of her. And Maurice is like, I know what you're doing. You're not going to cause me to lose my job. She said, I want to make sure you ain't messing with that old lady's money. And I'm like, lady, mind your business. So I don't know how many more weeks I'm going to be able to deal with this chick. But as far as I'm concerned, she need to go. So Maurice is going in there about telling about her. And then, he sees what's going on with Sabrina and this needle. So she calls him in, and it's so hard for her to do. So she asks for his help. And in true Maurice fashion, as crazy as he may be, he's a beautiful friend to Sabrina. He loves her to death. There's nothing he wouldn't do for her. You see, he was about to go to jail for her. And he gave her the shot that she needed. And she said, thank you, Maurice. I may need you again. And he was like, no problem. He'll always be there for her. And of course, he's in deep gratitude for her helping him to get his job back. However, this B gonna have to go. Because this chick I can't tolerate no more because she's absolute trouble. And Sabrina think it's just about a soda, but it really ain't just about a soda. This woman probably hate the fact that Maurice is there after all that has happened, and a black woman has this position to be able to help him out. We know her type. So here we go with Karen at the salon, and of course, Pam is so happy she got her products there trying to do her brand, and she was like, "What is all this stuff, Pam?" She was like, "You got to keep yourself fresh in the mind of the people." So Karen kind of laughed it off and said, "Girl, okay, do you?" So Aaron comes in because in true Aaron fashion, good and well, he's so happy he gonna be coming out here. And so Pam like, oh, old boy back. She don't know the deal yet. Now see Miss Bougie Karen, who always seemed to act like she's better than everybody. Now you in this situation where you got two baby daddies, and they at the same time they babies rumbling in your stomach. Okay, and to be in this situation, someone of your quote unquote stature, who think you so much better than the rest of your friends, now you in a situation that none of them are in. So yeah, you should be feeling some kind of way. But hey, it happens. Next time, don't go sleeping around with men at the same time. So stop acting like you better than others, because evidently, boo, you not. So she's letting Aaron know, because he's saying, well, don't keep this a secret, Karen. It'll be easier on you if you let everyone know. And she's like, I know, but I don't want to tell. She doesn't know. So trying to quiet her down. And then she lets him know about the situation with Zach. I want to take care of his half of the baby. So Aaron's like, what you mean, what half of the baby? We not splitting it. Like, I don't mind taking care of both of the children. And he would hope that Karen feels the same way. And she's like, I don't want anything to do with it. You talk, he claimed they're going to be civilized. It's not going to be crazy. She don't want any parts of it. But you can't remove yourself, boo. You are a part of it. So now you got Jordan still on stakeout outside of Andie's job, and he sees this guy that was with Gary and runs out and says, oh, Penelope. I'm like, Joker, this ain't your sister. But then I thought about it, like maybe he did that just to throw her off so he could be able to start this conversation with her, because you can't be that stupid, Jordan. Good and well this ain't your sister. But he tried to make like, who is this guy, like he knew Gary's partner and Gary, and strike up a conversation. And she was very easy to give this stranger information and said, follow me. I'll let you know about them. He ain't no good. I'm like, girl, you don't know this man. It's that easy? Okay, I guess in Tyler's world it is. All right, enough of that, because I'm so sick of this Jordan. Now, back at the salon, Karen, in true Karen fashion, makes it all about her. So she feeling some kind of way that Pam didn't let her know that Aaron had invested in her salon. But yes, he helped her out. Aaron was, like he said, wasn't speaking to her, and he saw a good product, how good it was doing. Pam got her stuff together very professionally, running her business. And she was like, he only did that so he can get close to me. It's not always about you, Karen. He was helping a sister out, and you should be more supportive with that. So now, I guess Zach is trying to let off some steam with everything that's going on that he found out about with Aaron, and he pissed off because Aaron rolled up on him at the court. He's like, you following me? I'm sick of you. You follow me in the womb. You even following me in the womb. I can't get enough of you. And I'm like, Zach, stop acting like you jealous because Aaron was involved with Karen. Because sometimes that's how it comes off. Zach comes off a little hating, because you always want to rescue Karen and all that. She don't need any saving. But then again, it almost looked like he was telling her, she's strong enough to handle her own. You don't have to be Captain, save a woman or whatever. But he's like, no, that's not the case. I want to be a father to both of these twins, and if you can't handle it, I'm willing to take care of both of them. He was like, what kind of deadbeat you think I am? He wants to take care of his child, but his thing is, I don't. It's not about your child, my child. We're gonna have to work with these twins together because they are a set, and so we're gonna have to figure that out. And so he let him know and share with him about not having his children around no more, not having custody. They with their grandparents, which he didn't know about. So they shared that, and hopefully they'll be able to make amends over it because Zach felt some kind of way, and he really sympathized with Aaron. So back at the shop, here is this guy with Karen and Pam, always coming through. He wanted to take her out. I'm like, bruh, like, why would this young, nice looking brother, college educated, got a good job, a lot going for himself, can have a single woman, nice girl, to be sweating Karen, who's pregnant. He see his complicated and drama going on. He was at the shop when Zach was there that time. So why would you want to get involved with that? Like, why? I don't understand this brother. I don't know why he wants to be bothered. I guess they want to make him a love interest for Karen to keep something going. But I think they need to let that storyline go. What do you think? You think he's going to be around for a while? I don't know. So now you got back at the house. Sabrina meets up with Danny, and Danny, she promised Karen not to say anything, but it's killing her. So she said, I got news. It's really important. It's more than Calvin with the whole panty situation. So we're going to play charades to let you figure out on your own what's going on with this news with Karen and the baby. So they going through the whole thing, and she trying to play charades. One was the first word, second word, or whatever. And Sabrina sometimes act a little flighty. She ain't the sharpest tack in the pack. So as beautiful as she is, sometimes Sabrina. Need I say more? So she's trying to figure it out, but she gets it, and she's so excited because she's like, okay, baby, daddy, and then she finds out 2 baby daddies. Yeah, 2 baby daddies. And she's like, oh my God, she got it. Now, in the meantime, Tony comes by with the cuffs that he found from his daughter because, of course, Danny told her, tell your father what the cuffs is about. Number one, the girl shouldn't have took the cuffs out of Danny's house. She should have told her when she got the cuffs, that's for grown folks. Put my stuff down. Come out here, watch TV. We'll talk or what have you. She shouldn't have had her just roaming in her room. But Andie didn't want to deal with children. My thing is, teach your children manners and respect when they come to people's houses. So Danny threw him out. And he's mad at her thinking that she would know better. But I really don't blame Danny because I think it's how you raised your children. She should have never been in her stuff. So, Fatima, she's so domesticated. She works, she go to law school. She still comes home and cook for her man, which I absolutely love. They enjoy a home cooked meal. She is just a perfect package. She got issues now. But she's a good woman when it comes to really catering to her man, and I love that part. And so she finds out that she was right. Andie, oh God, I can't remember these names. Zach had a conversation with Aaron, and basically Aaron talked about the same thing that she talked to him about, that these are 2 babies, and you gotta figure out how they're gonna co-parent together, and separating isn't the smartest thing. And he was like, you like being right? And she's like, yeah. So it was hard for him to say at first, but yeah, get it right. So they had their little moment, which was cute. So now we have our man in the car talking to Andie. And lo and behold, when he's talking to her and they talking about getting together later, who comes in the car? Gary, ready to talk about, is that my bitch you talking to? I'm like, you know what? You are so rude, Gary. But what do we expect? Now he got our man and he's basically threatening him. What is going to happen next week? What will Gary say to Jordan? How is this little dynamic gonna go? Is he still gonna be on the hunt and investigate the loss of his sister? Or will Gary soon be taking Jordan out of here? It's getting crazy. I can't wait to next week. But family, I hope you let me know what you think about this episode. What's about to go down next? Danny and these children with Tony and this whole pregnancy situation. Okay, until next time, family, stay authentically you and live the life you deserve. Peace.